In this video, I share how I flipped a sample from AreDoubleYou's YouTube channel to go from this to this. Step 1, add the sample to an open audio track, and if the sample was created from digital music originally, you shouldn't have to warp it. This track was 94.3 beats per minute, and I just plugged it in down here, changed it to complex. The key was A sharp minor. If I ever feel like I need to double check myself, I'll use Mixed in Key Live just to double check that the key is in the right place. It says it's B flat minor, which is B flat minor is the same as A sharp minor, or B flat and A sharp are the same notes. All right, let's listen to a little bit of this sample. Next, what I like to do is I'll duplicate the sample so that if I ever need to go back to the original or take a piece from it, I still have the unmodified original. So just duplicate the original and then pitch the sample up or down. In this case, I want to pitch the sample up, and let me show you on a piano roll first. So since we're on that B flat, we're going to go up 2 semitones, 1, 2. Now we're on C. So let me show you on the actual sample. We're gonna go up 2 semitones. So I'm just gonna go up 1, 2. Oh, we went up 4. Let's go down 2. So now the sample sounds like this. Next, to commit the changes we did of pitching the sample up, right click and then click consolidate, or use the shortcut command. And make sure that you don't skip this step, because if you do, when you go to chop up the sample, Ableton will be looking at the original sample instead of the sample that you pitched up. Now that we have the consolidated copy of the sample, right click on the copy, click slice to new MIDI track. When the slice menu comes up, you can select whatever slicing method you prefer. I'm gonna leave it on bar, but there are other slicing methods to play around with. And then the slicing preset, I'm just gonna leave it on the built-in, but there are other ones to select and play around with to get different results. And I'm gonna leave preserve warp timing on. Click OK. It's gonna generate the samples it's gonna lay them across your MIDI controller or keyboard as individual slices. Now, the first thing I like to do is I'll delete the MIDI that's generated, because I want to write my own MIDI and play the sample the way that I want. And then now I can play it across my keyboard or my MIDI controller. Now, if you find that you're getting a little bit of a clip or at the beginning or end of the sample, just play around with the attack and release until it sounds good to you. All right, I played around with the sample to come up with this basic pattern. It sounds like this. Now I want to create a darker, lower pitched version of this, and I can easily do that by using Bounce in Place, which is a Max for Live device. I'll stop that. I'm just gonna change the color real quick. We're gonna pitch this one. We're gonna go down 7 semitones. Here we go. -7, which is also a perfect fifth. Let's see what that one sounds like. If it doesn't sound right to you, just make sure you move it from beats to complex. I like to get my samples from other people or from LoopCloud, because LoopCloud helps me to organize my own personal library of samples as well. Where do you like to get your samples? Let me know in the comments below. Let's get back into it. Next, throw some scalar 2 chords onto a plugin. I threw it onto Hybrid Keys. Playing Hybrid Keys by itself, it was a little bit harsh. Sound like this. And I wanted it to sound a little dreamier than that. So I added Crystalline. And I also added Shaperbox 3 with the modules of the time shaper and the reverb shaper. And now it sounds like this. Next, let's put Melody Sauce 2 to work. Drag and drop that onto Glaze, which Glaze is free right now, at least at the time of recording this video. I'll put a link in the description just in case it still is free, and it'll sound like this now. Next, let's add some drums. I'm going to use Beatmaker RICO, and I recommend when you're using plugins like this that already have built-in drum patterns, just make sure to kind of pull the MIDI out into your DAW and move the notes around so that sounds a little bit different, so that you don't sound like everyone else that has this same plugin. And this is what I came up with. All right, this next one is a bonus tip. Add your own Foley sounds to your song. And if you're in a place where you can't get a nice clear audio, just record it and then slap Clarity VX on there, and it'll help clean up that background noise that you don't want. And this is what this Foley sounds like that I created. Last but not least, I found this vocal sample from Loop Cloud, and what I did to it,
it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't really matter at all. So before we listen to this beat, if you found something helpful in this video, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more music production tips, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's hear how this came out.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter no more.
Hero.